Hey, this is Ken from Starke Yacht Care. What we got here in front of us are the new cordless systems by FLEX. Here in front of me, I've got the new FLEX Rotary, which I'm excited to show every one of you out there. And then as well as what's being released is this is their new force rotation. Basically your modern day 3401 VRG, the beast, which has been a real popular model for years in the boat detailing world, but I like to call this the better beast. And then with that, you're gonna have still your free spinning 15 millimeter throw random orbital dual action polisher machine too, all in these 24 volt systems. But as boat detailers out there, and many car detailers alike too, but I think the demand when you're doing gel coat correction is obviously force is a lot more to get correction. We need a more rugged machine to be able to get the correction work that we need on gel coat versus car paint. Car paint essentially, you don't want a lot of heat and a lot of pressure because you can damage that substrate, but when it comes to gel coat, heat and pressure can be your friend. What we have found in the past when you're dealing with cordless tools is, as we all know, like technology has advanced and have gotten better, but they just really, at least for us, haven't really been there. And FLEX is making pretty big claims. We're gonna be here to literally test it all. And the one that I really wanna see the most is, on this cordless tool, how much power does it truly have? Because power is really important to us. A lot of the other tools that have been in the industry for a while, if we put the pressure that we need to really remove scratches, pigtails, oxidation, it'll generally slow down and pretty much just stop. And when that rotary stops, obviously we're not getting the correction that we need. I want to test that. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to test the batteries. Now FLEX with the new 24 volt system offers 7 different batteries, where the competitors in their space, at least in the polishing world, really only offer 1 maybe, and then there's other manufacturers that offer a few different ones. This video is being made prior to the release that the rotary machine, most excited to test for you, is gonna come with the new FLEX 5.0 amp hour battery. A far more advancement in batteries, which is the stack pack. This is a 3.5 amp hour versus the 5 amp hour. But the difference is this battery actually has more output. What I'm really excited to get into would be into the rotary, but before we dig into that, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove this pad. We have our quick connect system that's currently on here, which just kind of pops off. It's real simple. For those of you that like flipping the pads, we got a quick connect system. Now I do have the quick connector already on it, and just for comparison, there's our quick connector. That weighs in at 4 ounces. Make sure, like, when I'm doing the measuring or I'm measuring the weight of this, let's deduct 4 ounces of that, because I am gonna leave that on there just for the video. Again, zeroed out. Let's go ahead and check out the rotary with the machine by itself, and literally coming in at only 4 pounds, 7 ounces. Like, again, I'm being told that these are gonna be shipped with a 5.0 battery when they come. Let's really see how it boils down to on that aspect. I'm gonna go ahead and zero it out. Scale zeroed out, and 6 pounds, 10 ounces for a rotary. Is that good? Is that bad? Well, here's one way that we can test that. One in the boat detailing world that's very popular is good old DeWalt. And let's just weigh this bad boy. 7 pounds, 2 ounces. If it had that adapter on there, we would be 7 pounds, 6 ounces. You're gonna save a ton of weight just switching to the cordless tool by FLEX. Now let's talk about what's really important to detailers or users for tools like this. I think the most items that we're looking into is power. We're gonna test the power. The other one's going to be, how long does the battery last? We're gonna test that for you here in a minute. Here's the cool part, is let's talk about the warranty on these machines. FLEX, for us, in the past, I'm gonna be candid with you, I don't think the warranty was the best. And I think what they did was listening to their customers. And if you purchase any of these 24 volt tools in 2024, after or when it's released, again, in 2024, directly from us, from Starke Yacht Care, you're gonna get a lifetime warranty on the tool. Lifetime warranty. I don't think I've ever heard of that, and there's no caveat to that either. Like you have to pay $100 to get it repaired. It's literally, it's lifetime, and they're gonna replace the battery that comes with it 3 times before you would have to pay anything on that. Now, let's say you're watching this video and now it's 2025. Well, unfortunately, you missed out on the lifetime warranty on the 2024. However, it is now coming with a 5-year warranty on the tool, which is, for me, is a very strong warranty to back up a tool. Let's see how much power it has. Now, granted, the 5 amp hour battery has 960 watts, does not have the same output as a stacked, so a stacked battery is going to have more power. Let's see how much power this thing has, because that's always been a problem. Always. All the cordless rotaries that are out there, just for me, doesn't really have a lot of power. So I'm going to run it. Just for comparison, I'm gonna go on speed setting 1 first. Again, this is gonna be most real life test of pushing. Like when you're doing gel coat correction, you're pulling pigtails, you're pulling scratches. You're generally on a white wool, on a rotary with your heavy cut, and you're leaning on it to pull them out, especially if they get some real rowdy pigtails or real rowdy oxidation. So speed setting 1, let's see what we got. And I'm leaning on that. You look, my knuckles are white. Let's go to 6, see if it makes a difference. For me, that's hands down more than enough power you will ever need to pull pigtails, scratches, bar none, 0. And just know, like, the power gets better with the stack system. So let's move on to the next thing. How long is it going to take to charge the battery? Because again, there's been claims made from other tool manufacturers out there, and the batteries really weren't charging as fast as they stated, and they weren't lasting as long. Again, I really don't know how long this battery is going to last. We're going to test this together with the 5 amp hour battery, but they do have multiple charging systems that come, or that is offered by Flex, and 2 of them that I have here in front of me is, first is the fast charger, which is 160 watts, and if we're talking on the 3.5 stacked battery, I have their claims over here. The 3.5 stacked battery on the 160 watt, which is their lowest or their slowest charger, okay, is 35 minutes. I think that's pretty fair. However, where I think things really change the game is if you jump up to the superchargers, so this 550 watt supercharger, this 3.5 amp hour battery is now going to charge in 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get more than 15 minutes of runtime out of it, even on a rotary. This video will tell us, maybe it won't. Now, I spoke about earlier that they got 7 other battery options. A 3.5 amp hour is not a huge battery in the world of batteries, and they have a 10 amp hour that's coming out, a really large one. And if you have the supercharger, their claim with the 10 amp hour battery is 30 minutes. And here's the thing about the charging. Their claims aren't to 80% in this time frame. This time frame's at 100%, where that kind of separates them from more competition that's out there. Literally, these claims are charging the battery to 100%, not to 80%. Again, those type of claims there, I'm pretty impressed with. But now let's really dig in to see how long this rotary is going to last. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pad on here. It's a good old quick connect system. I freaking love it. And I don't want to use the 3 amp hour. Let's use the 5 amp hour that's going to be coming with the tool. Okay, let's make sure here, showing that it is fully charged. And then we are going to get to it. I'm going to start a clock, reset. So before I start that, I'm going to put lubrication on this panel too. And the other thing, just to be fair, I'm not going to run it on speed setting 1. I don't think any boat detailer or even a car detailer, maybe car detailers, definitely not boat detailers, are not going to be running the tool on one. It says 6 different speeds, but it actually has 11 because there's half speeds that are on here, okay? What I'm going to do is, just to be fair, I'm going to run on speed setting 3 this whole entire time. Now, throughout the demo, I will be just coming off the panel a little bit. That way I can put more polish and lubricate it. But from there, I think that's going to be the most fairest test, at least for now. Dab this bad boy up. And let's see how long I'm going to sit here for. Here we go. With the 5 amp hour battery, looks like it was 19 minutes and 30 seconds. Granted, it's still kind of trying, and it looked like it died on me when I stopped to reapply the polish. Would it have kept going if I didn't stop? Don't know. I don't know for how long. But we have 19 minutes and 30 seconds. And again, I'm running this on speed setting 3, which is almost 1100 RPMs. I would say the temperature, it's not cold, but it's a little warm, but nothing where it's gonna burn my hand. And I went straight the whole time. The other thing I want to point out is I'm using a double-sided wool pad. This is not, and it's an 8.5-inch pad or 8-inch pad. This is not your 6.5-inch wool or 5 or 7.5-inch single-sided where it's going to have less mass that's spinning. But again, this is the 5 amp hour battery. It's not even the new stacked lithium. I'd be curious to see of how the stacked lithium performs. I mean, I do have that 3.5 there. They're saying with the rapid charger 5.0, is 27 minutes. Here's the other thing I really want to point out is I didn't stop for 1 second or besides just reapplying the polish on here so I don't burn the gel coat, because this is a gel coated panel and I want to keep it lubricated. But you as a user out there are going to stop more than what I did generally. You're going to have to move sections like I didn't move. I'm static in one area versus moving along down the boat or moving along down by the car. If you're not running it at 3, I myself felt that running it midway is the fairest test. I can guarantee you if I ran it on 1, it's going to go a lot longer. 1 is only 550 RPMs, which is half of that. But I think that was the most fairest test with the 5 amp hour battery. I'm going to switch over to the 3.5. Again, I don't know if heat will play a factor in how long the battery lasts as well, because this is obviously this one's been running for a little bit, but now I've got lubrication on this panel. Let's put that 3.5 amp hour battery on there, and let's see the difference that we get with that. Again, speed setting 3, all created equal. Still on 2. We've tested the power, we've tested how long the battery will last. I would say the power's there. The battery, again, I still think my opinion is that you probably, if you're going to boat detail, you probably need a bigger battery than the 5 amp hour as of right now, but let's see how quick it can charge. We're going to use that same 5 amp hour battery, and that flashing 4 basically is telling you she's all done for. She's worn out. We're going to use the FLEX Supercharger, so the one with the 550. We're going to set a timer here, and I want you to really pay attention to over here. Essentially, if there's no lights on, it's charging, right? Once we reach 1 on, it's going to be at 80%. And then 2 should be full charge at 100%. They're claiming on a 5 amp hour battery on this one, I believe it is 27 minutes. We'll see how close or how accurate that. We'll go ahead, get it plugged in. She kicked on, and let's see what happens. Now we've went through, we've tested how long it actually takes to charge each one of these on the supercharging system here. The 3.5 amp hour battery, I believe, was 15 minutes and 45 seconds, 50 seconds in there. It looks like it went over 45 seconds, less than a minute. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. And then same thing for the 5 amp hour battery. It looked like it would fall about 27:52. Again, roughly about 50 seconds versus their claim was 27 minutes. And here, technically, that falls in a 27-minute category. Didn't reach over to 28, but if you round it up, closer to 28, let's be honest. And then same thing for the 3 amp hour battery. Their claim is 15 minutes. We got 15 minutes and like 45 seconds. Still falls in that 15-second range, but if we are rounding up, what it's closer to, more about 16 minutes. Now, let's kind of go from there, right? I only have these 2 different battery options for the Rotary in itself. I really love to get my hands on the 6.0 amp hour battery, and here's why. If I was able to get 19.5 minutes of runtime on, again, speed setting 3, y'all, that's almost 1,100 RPM on a double-sided wool pad. If you're using a single-sided pad, it's not gonna be as much, especially if it's a 6.5 inch or 7.5 inch pad. You're gonna get more time out of that. Furthermore, I didn't stop. I'm in one small area. I'm not walking along, going along the side of the boat, going along the side of the car, stopping, getting a drink of water, etc. That's generally what happens in real life scenarios. With that being said, if I had that 6 amp hour battery and seeing what far I've noticed with the output of the batteries and the charging time, let's say they're saying the charging time is 18 minutes. Let's say it's roughly closer to 19 minutes. Well, right there with that 6 amp hour battery, even if it only goes as far as the 5 amp hour battery, I'm gonna make it within that threshold to be able to charge it and flip over. Again, I need that battery in my hands to really find out how long it's going to take, but if I had to guess, I bet you we're probably gonna get closer to 25 minutes, 24, 25 minutes of runtime, and that's straight runtime. If you're a boat detailer, the recommendation that I'm gonna make before, again, I have the 6 amp hour battery, but just math being math, your best combination is gonna be utilizing the Supercharger with at least the 6 amp hour battery. There's more options that are available, 8 amp hour and the 10 amp hour and the 12 amp hour. There'll be more options for that, but maybe that sweet spot for the weight, the power, the overall experience is probably gonna be the 6 amp hour stacked lithium battery. Again, I appreciate everyone watching. If you want to see a demonstration very similar to this on the Better Beast, which is their force rotation for the 24-volt system, or the free spinning 15 mil, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to make sure that we get those videos out to you. That way everybody has the right information they need to make the right buying choice.